Yo, 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 what it do, family? High value basketball. We are back once again. Like, share, and subscribe. You already know the drill. Yo, Steph Curry. Steph Curry coming out the bag some more, talking about this last championship that he won. As over the weekend, Steph Curry did an interview and he was asked, how does he feel, about his championships, especially that last one? And he came out the bag saying, essentially, that his last championship was the one that felt the best, and he would rather have that one championship against Boston versus the two that he won in the KD era. Dun, 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 dun. Man, the hits just keep on coming. Now, this is him saying that, of course, it's not a jab at KD, but of course, due to the proximity of everything that's going on, this is definitely a KD approximated statement. Um, for me, in my viewpoint, and the angle I'm coming with, this goes back to what we initially called KD being a cupcake, and KD going to the Warriors and participating in the weakest move in all of professional sports history, not just basketball, all of sports. And a part of the reason why is the anti-competitive nature or the anti-competitive backdrop of that rule, man, and that rule of his decision. Him doing so, it messed up the competitive balance of basketball so bad to where it essentially left a stain on those championships. Not like an asterisk or anything, but it just lessened the dopeness and the intensity of the championships. And here's why, because it's about competitiveness. And Stephen Curry, he in and of himself talks about this and how this stuff actually matters. Like it means something. If you ever were a player, this is you. You should understand if you've ever played organized sports. Especially like I say, you played high school football, basketball, or something, and y'all get to the playoffs, even if y'all make it that far, and just the intensity and the feel of a winner takes all atmosphere. That really does separate the mice from the men. And for what it's worth, it doesn't feel the same when you ride on somebody else's coattails to get to that end. It doesn't feel the same. It's almost like if you've never competed before, it's like playing video games and you going through the game and then you finally get to this boss level and you just cannot beat the boss. So eventually you just say, F it. I'm gonna put in the cheat codes, and you then beat the rest of the game with the cheat codes on an infinite life or infinite ammo or infinite grenades or something like that. Something that totally just puts you on God mode, and the rest of the game feels empty. Like, yeah, you won the game and you beat it, but it felt empty because you didn't earn it. You felt empty because it was rigged and the deck was stacked. It felt empty because you didn't have to put your all into it, and you consciously knew that there was some type of buffer that made you better than kind of what you really were. And that same thing is what Steph Curry is essentially alluding to. And again, he's not like necessarily dissing Steph. I mean, he's not dissing KD necessarily, but he is admitting that on a strictly competitive, visceral, human, emotional level, especially as it contains with sports, you don't feel as dope when you know you stacked the deck. You don't feel as dope when you know you just had yourself a chance to win, and then you almost pulled it off, and then you go and get the biggest, most overboard move ever. It's like you got a fly in your house, and instead of going to get a fly swatter, you go get a whole goddamn grenade. And you blow your whole fucking house up to kill to kill the fly. That's what they did with the NBA. They blew the whole league up to try to kill, the bug named LeBron, basically. And so, it just goes all the way around. It's talking about competitiveness. It matters, and it does mean something. And this just goes another blow to show the true example of, the whole Golden State Warriors, Kevin Durant era. As far as just like a basic team is concerned, that definitely was the one of the best teams, if not the best team ever constructed. But it also was a hollow team because it's almost like the dream team going to the Olympics every year. Like I say, we send our best players to the Olympics every 4 years. Like I say, when that dream team, especially like the Michael Jordan dream team 1 and 2, when they went out into the Olympics, there wasn't any intensity in that. There wasn't any like there was honor in the sake of representing our country and making a statement and completely obliterating teams because it's gonna be written in all of the annals of history kind of thing. But as far as just being out there on the court, like them Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, all of these dudes, they didn't feel like that winning a gold medal was nearly as intense or nearly as important or nearly as impactful as winning an NBA championship because the competition is at the absolute highest level and you really get to see if you are the best or not. And that stuff really does play with you. So that's why we talk about with KD and all of that. That's why they call it the weakest move ever. Because just imagine being back in that setting, Oklahoma City versus the Warriors, Thunder versus the Warriors. Was that 2016? And you up 3-1 against these dudes. Who's been ramming the whole league. You if any intensity's been going on as we remember, especially you got Russell Westbrook on your team, there's intense trash talk going on, high emotions going on, people poking at each other real hard. This is some serious like high level intensity, high level competition goes on. Then you start losing these games and you lose against these jokers and you as Kevin Durant, like you hearing, Draymond Green's aggressive behinds probably saying the most outlandish, out the box aggressive stuff to you. Like you seeing Klay Thompson be passive aggressive and throw fire darts down your team's throat and stuff. Like you see them celebrate, on your court and stuff like that. Like, nah, man. To then go and experience through all of that, you right on the precipice of beating these jokers, and then you turn around and you join them. Like just as far as like on a manhood thing, it just seems odd and weird that it even took place. I could see on one end for the Warriors, possibly, they extended the olive branch out to him. But essentially, that's what it was and how they treated and felt about him, because that's what the GM said. Essentially, yeah, you came and jumped on our bandwagon, and that's what Draymond Green basically said, called him the B word, and was like, we did this without you, and yeah, that's what Kevin Durant ultimately felt after he won them 2 chips, and he knows it felt empty. He knows he stacked the deck. He's a true competitor because he's played at the highest levels, high school, college, and in the NBA. You know that intensity, you know that feeling, and he knows that them joints was empty because it was like the dream team versus Lithuania. It didn't feel like nothing, and it wasn't organic. As in, he was drafted by the Warriors, and they just went through battle after battle after battle and got good together, and them against the world. No, it was the most artificial thing ever. So Steph put a cap on all of that, and really, for me, and for those out there who really do remember and really have put themselves in that competitive situation, you know exactly what Steph Curry is saying. That chip mattered the most because that's the one he really, really, really had to earn, and he wasn't on no stack deck, cheat code team for whatever it's worth. He had to go get that, and he had to prove to himself that he could go get that, and he did that. And that's what matters, yo. That's why all championships aren't made equal. And that's why Kevin Durant left his behind out of the what is that? Out of the Warriors. Shoot, that's why Kyrie Irving left from Cleveland. He wanted to see if he could do it himself. That's why Kobe sent Shaq away, because he wanted to see if he could do it himself. Like, this stuff is real, y'all. And so, we've gotten ourselves a little bit clouded by the LeBron era and the LeBron team hop era. For whatever it's worth, it is what it is. LeBron is the circumstantial case that he's best buddies with all these other dudes. So it's a different kind of sense of competition, I guess. But in general, the whole buddy era, diluting the competitive fervor of the game, it seems to be kind of coming back, and a lot of players are really now coming out of the bag and showing that, hey, competition matters. It does. High value sports here. Holla at your boy. Be back for the next one. Like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Peace.